characteristics of life. We will list a couple of characteristics of life, that is characteristics for all of the organisms that we discuss in biology. Let's consider the leaf, and we will focus on how orderly everything is designed in biology. The leaf structure by itself, you might just not see an order in a leaf as much, but if you put it under the microscope for 4D magnification, for example, you will see cells that make up the leaves, the different leaves. The cells, they have a cell wall because they are plant cells. That's why I draw the double kind of rectangle-ish stuff. These are the nuclei that make up the cells. They are green because they have the pigment, the chlorophyll in the chloroplast that is responsible to catch the sunlight to make the sun's energy into chemical energy later on. We will learn that later. So the second characteristics is the reproduction, that every organism can reproduce. If we think about a spider, let's say, the spiders reproduce, a male and a female spider, and they can produce offsprings. This is the one of the spiders after the fertilization of the eggs. So this is the mama spider, lays eggs and will reproduce baby spiders. The spider reproduce their own, so every organism reproduce their own kinds. It will not reproduce a different organism, will not reproduce, for example, a caterpillar, just only spiders. Spiders will reproduce spiders. The third characteristics of life, that all organisms grow and develop. Let's consider a tiny egg on a leaf. Let's say this is laid by a butterfly, and this tiny egg over the time will hatch and will produce a caterpillar. The caterpillar will eat and eat and eat and eat and will grow and develop, and it's going to build a cocoon around itself, a structure that makes these caterpillars protect the caterpillars. Over the time, the metamorphosis will happen in the cocoon, and a couple of days, weeks later, from the cocoon, a beautiful butterfly will emerge. The growth and development is encoded in every cell, and it's called the DNA, the hereditary material that tells the cells what to do. The DNA stands for the deoxyribonucleic acid, the DNA, and we are going to learn way more about the DNA later on in class. The fourth characteristics of life is that all organisms use energy, and as well as they can pass energy to other organisms. Let's consider a nice apple tree. The apple tree at the fall will bear fruits, nice apples, and the apple tree gets its energy from the sun. So these are the nice apples, and the energy comes from the sun. The ultimate energy, so almost 99.9% of the energy comes from the sun for the Earth. Energy, they are going to use that energy so they can make their own food. They are called autotroph organisms. Please recall this word later on in biology. Autotroph, self-feeders. On the other hand, we distinguish from the autotrophs the heterotrophs. The heterotrophs, they cannot feed themselves, they cannot make their food for themselves. They have to feed on different organisms or fruits or food source in order to maintain their energy level or obtain energy. So the apple will give the energy to the hedgehog. The fifth characteristics is regulation to maintain homeostasis. Homeo means same, stasis, same state. So the internal environment of the organism is constant, stable. Let's consider we have a glass of apple juice. This apple juice is really good and tasty, and you are going to drink it, or an organism will drink it. 1 hour later, this organism will have to go to the bathroom to do bathroom number 1. So in order to contain the water content in the body, the incoming has to go out in a different form, but the water content in the body has to be the same, constant. But if you don't drink, or the organism doesn't drink the orange juice 1 hour later, probably the organism doesn't have to go to the bathroom, because the organism will have no excess amount of liquid in the body. Now, the 6 characteristics of life is that organisms respond to environment. We are going to have two scenarios. One of them is when we have a nice flower outside, let's say outside in your garden, open air, no shade, and the plant is going to grow towards the light, so it will grow towards the sun. It will go straight up. The stem will shoot up straight towards the sun. On the other hand, scenario number, okay, so goes up. This is called the phototropism, that makes the plants grow towards the light. But let's say we are in the house, or shade covers the sun, or the plant is in a shady place and the sun comes from the window, let's say it from the side. The plant want to go towards the light. The plant needs the light in order to get its energy. So the sun is the source of energy for it. So it's going to bend towards the light. This is a response to the environment where the plant is, or where the plant is located. The flower grows towards the light. It's, again, phototropism, because it goes towards the light, but it's not going to shoot up, but it will shoot sideways. And the last characteristics of life is that the population can evolve into a different population, or the population's characteristics can change. We have a bird, and we will talk about birds many times when we hit Darwin's evolution, when he pretty much studied the finches in Galapagos Island. I circled that, so it's many. It's not one organism is going to evolve, but the population is going to evolve. These birds, actually, because over the time they will have, for example, seeds that long beaks are better to eat that seed, so the organisms will turn into long beak organisms in a population. Or in another island, they have tiny seeds or strong seeds, and they have to have tiny beaks in order to get the food, or they start to move into the water and they need kind of a pelican beak in order to survive. So the population evolves